Okay, welcome to today's maths lesson. Can you please read this learning objective with your mom or dad? And that learning objective is, can I measure in non-standard units of volume? And just a note to the mums and dads out there, in the coming days and weeks to come, we will be looking at milliliters and perhaps liters, and these are standard units of volume. But today, we're just concerned with non-standard units. But first, the answer to last week's task.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this scoop that I had for my protein powder and use that to empty all of the water from this tall glass. And I will pour it into this large jug behind it. So here goes. That's one scoop. Two scoops. Three scoops. I've got steady hands. Haven't spilt a drop. This is the fourth scoop. Five scoops. And almost six. We'll say 5 and a bit scoops. 5 and 3/4 scoops. Okay, so almost 6 scoops. So I will write that down on this paper. If it's almost 6, let's round it up to 6 scoops. Okay. So that tall glass contained 6 of these scoops. So I've rounded it up to the nearest scoop. Okay? And next we have the jam jar, which was container B. And some of you in the comment section thought that this container may contain the most volume of water. Let's see how many scoops of water this jam jar contains. Oh, I spilled a tiny drop there. 1 scoop. 2 scoops. 3 scoops. 4 scoops. 5 scoops. There is no more water in this jam jar. So this jam jar contains 5 scoops of water. So I will just show you that there. Jam jar, 5 scoops of water. So it's 1 scoop less than the tall container. Boys and girls, now we have the lunch box. Some of you in the comments section of the last post suggested that this might be the container with the most volume. We'll find out in a moment. Mr. L always thought that tall containers contain the most volume of water. But I'm having second thoughts now because some of you have posted wonderful videos already proving me wrong. So let's look at this lunchbox and see how many scoops of water it contains. We'll find out the volume in scoops. And here's my scoop. And let's go. So the lunchbox has 1 scoop. 2 scoops. Spilled a drop. 3 scoops. maybe a bit more to get a full scoop. 4 scoops. Oh, spilled a lot there. 5 scoops. 6 scoops. Steady hands, Mr. L. Oh my goodness, 7 scoops. 8 scoops. 9 scoops. And there's even a bit onto the 9 scoops, and I spilled some on the table. So what I've measured is probably a little more than 9 scoops. So what does that mean? That means, although the lunchbox is not the tallest container, it contains 9 scoops of water. Why do you think that is? Quickly, have a chat with your mom or dad. Why does the lunchbox, not very tall, contain more water than the tall container? Here's a 4th container, container D, which is Mr. L's coffee glass. And here it is. I will use my scooper, it's just over here, my scoop, to measure how much water it contains. 1 scoop and probably 1 1/4 scoops. So I'll just call it 1. So it's closer to 1 than 2. Mr. L's coffee glass, there it is, 1 scoop. Finally, we've got Ava's bottle, and let's find out how much water it contains. Let's get it open. And we've got 1 scoop. 2, 3, 3 and a bit, maybe again 3 1/4. But it's closer to 3 than 4, so let's round it down to 3 scoops. So just writing that down, 3 scoops for Ava's bottle. So here is the final solution. You can see that the container with the most volume is the lunchbox with 9 scoops of water. Mr. L guessed the tall glass container A with 6 scoops. But it looks like tall containers don't always contain more volume than containers that aren't so tall but maybe wider. Okay? So well done in the comment section if you were one of those who estimated or suggested that the lunchbox container C would be the container with the most volume.
That shows us is that the tallest glass doesn't always contain the greater volume. And well done to all of you out there who've proved me wrong with their own experiments at home. Some of you use 2 identical glasses to compare the volumes of a tall glass and a not so tall container but a wider one, like in this case. More of you use measuring jugs like here, and that can tell you the volume in a standard unit of measurement called milliliters, and that's something we'll be looking at in further lessons. Another great way to prove me wrong is to pour the liquid or the water into a separate container and mark where the volumes are, like here. If you take a look at this example, and this example, you see how the children are pouring water from a full tall container into a wider container that isn't quite as tall, and noticing that the volume isn't full in that smaller but wider container. So all of your ideas about proving me wrong were absolutely brilliant. But because this lesson is based on non-standard units of measurement, Mr. L used non-standard units of measurement to show how tall containers often don't contain the same volume as wider containers that aren't so tall. Alright boys and girls, now it's time for some partner talk with your mum or dad. When you hear the bell, can you answer this question? What did Mr. L use to measure the volume of all of the containers? Boys and girls, the beauty of non-standard units of measurement is it allows you to choose how to measure what is in question. And I chose to use scoops to measure the volume of this container of water. And this container of water had about 6 scoops. Some of you in your videos use measuring jugs and describe the volume of water in milliliters. Milliliters are a unit of measurement used all over the world. They are called standard units of measurement. However, with non-standard units of measurement, you get to decide how you want to measure. From the videos, another great example of a non-standard unit of measurement came from Noah. Now Noah measured all of these containers using spoons. For example, he said the first container contained 8 spoons of water. Now that's a good non-standard unit of measurement. Here are some other examples of non-standard units of measurement. Remember Mr. L for his task last week? I used one of these protein scoops to measure the volume of water in each of my 5 containers. And you remember Noah used a spoon to measure the volume of water in his containers. Now here are some other examples of non-standard units of measurement that Mr. L just thought of right now. He got a little help from Mrs. L though. Here's an example. Here's a soup ladle. Maybe you could use that to measure water in the kitchen, or measure the volume of water in your kitchen or in your home. Here's a super cute little egg cup. That might be a non-standard unit of measurement you could use. What about a bottle lid? Again, a bottle lid could be a good non-standard unit of measurement for volume, and you should find them plentiful around your home. Here are some small whiskey glasses. Again, these could be a good non-standard unit of measurement. What about an empty yogurt pot? Could you use one of these? Here's just a plastic syringe. We have a few of those in our classroom. Maybe you could use one of these. With your mom or dad, could you please find any non-standard unit of measurement you can use for the task that will be coming up in a few minutes? Okay, boys and girls, the next step you're going to do is you're going to draw a table on a piece of paper. Mr. L is using Pic Collage. I'd like you to do it on a piece of paper. And your table will look like this. Again, on Pick Collage, I won't be able to use a ruler. I'd like it if you could use a ruler. So I'd like 3, oops, let's see if I can get this working. 1, 2, 3 columns. And then I'd like 6 rows. The top one here is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sorry, Mrs. L's playing music in the background there. So those are your 6 rows, 3 columns. Now I'd like you to put 3 little titles on the top. And your first title, I'm going to type in here, is item. So you're going to find 5 items in your kitchen. So I'm going to put item in there. Second title, which goes on top of the second column, is this word. Estimate. Look at the split vowel diagraph there. It's got the split vowel diagraph A. And what estimate means is your best guess. So that'll be the title of your second column, and I'll squeeze it in. And the final title on your third column is this one. Oops. Measurement. It's quite big there, so I'm going to see if I can squeeze that down to size and put it on top of my third column. So if you could please do a table just exactly like that. That's your first task. However, I must warn you, can you try and make yours neater than Mr. L's? Mr. L didn't use a ruler there. You hear Ava in the background there. Mr. L didn't use a ruler there, but please, I'd like you to use a ruler. So, start that task now, please.
And for today's measuring task, we won't be using these measuring jogs. And we won't be using milliliters. Do you see it there, ml? Milliliters are standard units of measurement used all over the world.
Instead, you're going to have to choose your own non-standard unit of measurement. And here are some samples I picked up in my kitchen. First, I've got this nice little jar. I could use that as a non-standard unit of measurement. I could use this little coffee cup again, would be a nice job. Like Noah, I could simply use a spoon. This is a nice soup ladle I have in the kitchen. I could use that as my non-standard unit of measurement. But instead I'm going to choose this. This is a bottle lid that I picked up. I think it's from a shampoo bottle. It's nice and deep. So this is going to be my non-standard unit of measurement. What non-standard unit of measurement are you going to choose? So here's your task. You need to choose 5 containers in your home. Then you need to measure them using your own non-standard units of measurement. Al is going to choose a sports bottle that I have at home. And on my table, I'm going to write down under item sports bottle. Earlier on in the video, I told you to put this table on a piece of paper. If you have managed to collect those blue maths books from the school, please put your table on the math books. And here's the sports bottle. And here's the non-standard unit of measurement I've chosen, which is a bottle lid. And I think that my sports bottle will contain probably about 8 lids of water. So I have just made an estimate. And your first step will be to estimate what the containers hold. And here's my estimate. The sports bottle contains 8 lids of water. Now it's time to find out if I'm right by doing the measurement.
Now let's do the measurement and check if my estimate was right. It's 1 lid. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And I guessed 8, so this is number 8. There's more in the bottle. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. Maybe one more. 14. One last maybe. Just the last drops of water. 15. So this bottle contains 15 lids of water. And this is my non-standard unit of measurement, the lid.
So here's where I've put my measurement there. 15 lids of water. I estimated 8 lids. The actual measurement was 15. It's now time for your Red Star Challenge. You need to choose one non-standard unit of measurement. I chose a bottle lid. You can choose whatever non-standard unit of measurement you like. Next, we need you to choose 5 bottles or containers around your house. We'd like you to estimate the volume and then measure the volume in your own non-standard unit of measurement. Present your information neatly and beautifully in a table like this, showing your items, your estimate, and your measurement. Please put your tables in your blue math books and upload a picture or a video of you completing the activity. Good luck, and as I said, there are red stars if you can present the information in the table, and if you can show us some photographic or video evidence of you doing the task. Good luck in this Red Star Challenge.